All right, my friends, my dear friends, let us continue. Let us carry on. Yeah, I pretty much work for Prism in real life, so Prism Acre. All right. So buy the party machine on Ukiah, and that is that. All right. Next up, it's Acre. So Acre, moving up in the world from number 12. Acre is number 11 in our faction turn order today. And they are going to take the sell asset action. Interesting. All right, so they're going to sell asset. So first of all, they are going to, let's see here. They are going to get some credits. So Acre has 1 credit to begin with. They get a base of 7 with an additional 1 for the party machine, -1 for their researchers. So that brings them up to 8 total. Okay, all right. And then they're going to sell their Space Marines on Dio Mikado for 15 fat creds. Interesting. So they're disarming. They're throwing their guns in the fire. Let's go ahead and take care of that. So the Acre Space Marines on Dio Mikado lay down their guns and disband. There they go. Bon voyage, Space Marines. That gives Acre 15 fat creds, bringing them up to 23. And then they're going to spend 2 more fat creds to activate their commodities broker, or activate their transit web to move their commodities broker. So let's move some Acre stuff around. So the commodities broker on Demnoff. Nope, commodities broker on Orpheus. That guy goes to Demnoff. Excellent. Okay, and then the party machine on Cabina moves to Tiber. Why are you going to Tiber? What's going on over there? All right. Excellent. Okay. And then there's an announcement. This is an internal announcement. I don't think I was supposed to receive it, but I'm gonna go ahead and leak that information right here. I'm gonna be the corporate whistleblower. I read in a secret document, a secret Acre document, the following information. Acre employees, today we are starting a new green initiative. Paper hurts the environment. Please shred any and all paper documents immediately. Remember, creating records means taking responsibility for their environmentally appropriate disposal. If asked for comment, please refer them to Director Greg. Thank you. That Acre spin. That's so cute. Thank you, Acre. That was lovely. You nerds. All right. So that's Acre squared away. Next up in the faction order for this month is, let me just send it out here. I love you, host Fornax. Jesus Christ. All right, coming in at number 12. Down from number 6. It's House Fornax. House Fornax is going to be taking the Seize Planet action. So they've got a couple of quick things to do first, and then Fornax has some hands. So let's give them their money and go from there. So Fornax starts with 5. They get an extra 5 from their income. Fornax, do you have any party machines? Fornax does not party. Okay. All right. So they got 10. They're going to activate covert shipping on Maya 2 times, which brings them down to 8. And then they're going to move the commodities brokers from Demnoff to Imperial Prime. So these go to Imperial Prime. Okay, commodities brokers to Imperial Prime. Business is coming to Prime. And then they are going to use the strike fleet that they have in orbit around Hakani. Currently, currently, House Fornax is the only faction that has assets on Hakani. So they are going to begin the seizure of Hakani. There is no one currently to stop them. So that is cool. All right, so progress 7 of 12, seizure, Hakani 1 of 3. Okay. Oh god, I hit the insert key. The worst key on the keyboard. All right, that sets them into a seizure lock for this turn and for the next turn. Yeah, Vela just burned their library. The planet is still a planet. Yeah, it's no one currently. Nobody has the ability to just completely wipe out a planet like we did with GATS. Like that used up technology. And I guess this is worth talking about. So like the attack on GATS that like burned up the planet, that was a co-operation between predominantly, I envision it, Crux and Triangulum. Triangulum worked with Crux, I guess, and you'd need delivery vectors by way of Fornax. But the other noble houses made a weapon, a terraforming weapon that that was strong enough to like completely fuck a planet, right? And then they used it on GATS against House Cygnus to prove a point. But I think that the pre-tech that they had to use to do it is used up, right? It will take time. It would take time to rebuild or make a new thing like that. And it would take like a TL5 planet and like, it was like we used up a bunch of those, the fissile materials or whatever. And now we would have to build, yeah, exactly. A gun so strong, it could only fire once. The thing was, it wasn't a weapon. Right? It was a science project. But yeah, there's more lore about this than I am merely explaining here. But the idea is that like, we don't have that right now. And yeah, the seizure of Hakani, it is a former noble homeworld. But this is how you take things from people that you don't like. You tell them they're not human beings anymore and they have no rights. And then you take the things that used to belong to them. That's what, and then you're like, it's fine because they're not people anymore. So this is how this kind of power structure works. So yeah, we did it when we came to this sector because we were like, look at all these planets, they've got aliens on them. They're not people. Let's just get rid of those aliens. They're not people. Look at all these planets we have for us, the humans, the only real people that exist. What's that? You've made a race of sentient creatures that threaten us? They're not people. It's fine. Also stewardship, right? Like there are still, it's not like Hakani is not like a horrible burned out world. There's like strategic things that have been destroyed. Vela burned up the library and that everybody's in a period of mourning because of that. But they recognize like, this is what the former government did. And now Fornax is showing up to be like, hi, so we notice you don't have a government. Don't you miss the empire? And they're settling in to grab themselves a new world. Somebody was going to. So as part of the Seize Planet is an attack action, so you can perform attacks elsewhere. As part of the Seize Planet action, we actually have some attacks. So the Fornax is going to attack the Prism Network with these new commodities brokers that they've brought in. So targeting the Prism Network. With each commodities broker, we actually get to roll an attack here at the end. So Prism is defending with their Demagogue. So because that's all they have. They have to. They don't have a choice. It's the only asset they have on the planet. And here, let me do Imperial Prime. There you go. And they're the only other people that would defend them. They aren't. So they got this Demagogue. And we'll do the 10 HP commodities broker first. It is a wealth versus wealth 2d8 attack. A cute little face. 2d8. Listen, when the game says you can attack. And then they're being blocked by a Demagogue. Okay, so Demagogue defends normally. Thank you, Prism, for sending these in on time. I always worry. I always get anxious. So Demagogue defends normally against the Combroker with 10 HP. So Combroker with the Demagogue. So the Demagogue is a 1d8 counterattack. Okay. 1d8 counter. And this is Wealth of Fornax 6 versus Prism's 5. All right, cool. 6v5. All right, so like pretty, it's pretty even. It's a pretty even fight. Let's see how it goes. D10 plus 6. Fornax gets, ooh, 16. Ugh. Wow, Fornax. That early Fornax aggression. And then versus D10 plus 5 versus an 11. The first attack is a success for 2d8 damage. So for 4 damage. All right. Okay. 4 damage. There we go. All right. So drink while I try to find what I'm looking for here. All right. Attack succeeds. 4 damage. All right. That's 4 damage to that Demagogue. Bring them down to 6 HP. I know, right? Weak damage. Now the same thing. But this time, Prism is going to use their tag. Which means they get advantage on this defense. Okay, so Demagogue defends because I think they want to try to take out that weaker commodities broker against the commodities broker with 5. Oops, 5 HP. Okay, all right, let's make that roll. So same deal. This one is a D10. D10 plus 6. Oh, still pretty big. We got 13. And then a D10. 2D10, keep 1, plus 5. Oh! Oh! All right. Well, that's a 10. So that's another 2d8 damage. And this time it is 11 damage. Okay. All right. So attack succeeds despite. And that's 11 damage. Demagogue destroyed. You're going to have to let me know how a commodities broker gets rid of a Demagogue. Maybe they get evicted. I don't know. Work out the lore yourselves. But yeah, so that's certainly enough to complete Blood the Enemy. Which gets them... How much XP do you get for Blood the Enemy again? How much do you get for Chase the Rapper? Your faction's total, counting first round. Oh, difficulty is 2. Okay, yep, it's 2. Thank you. So that brings them up to 5 experience. They're continuing to see Sakani. And that deletes that Prism Demagogue. Okay, there it is. Okay. Good. I'll make a note of that too. Demagogue destroyed. Blood the Enemy completed for 2 XP. Okay. And as with before, that completes House Fornax's turn. House Fornax just wants me to tell you that you deserve better. They want you to know. They want you to know. It's important. It's important to be told that sometimes, you know, to be reminded. Better than what? I don't know. Everything else, I guess. It's coming up on election time. It's time to make serious decisions. Time to blow things up and seize planets. All right, and last but not least, down from number 8, sitting at number 13, it's the Prism Network. So the Prism Network, you are taking the buy asset action, I believe. And they're going to buy a party machine on Echo. Okay, so they get some credits. They start at 15, I think. Yeah. Start at 15. They get 6, but they're buying one for 8, which brings them to -2. Yeah, 13. Okay. All right. Oh, they would also like me to change their relationship. Oh, did I just take that from the UPC? I'm sorry. Let me fix it. There it is. Okay. See, that spreadsheets. You'd think after all of these years I would know how they work, but I always get paranoid because I do a thing and I hit enter and it drops it down to the next cell, which of course it does because that's how spreadsheets work. But then I'm like, no, wait, I screwed it up, but I didn't. I didn't screw it up. I got it right. All right. So Prism Network. Yeah, no, you got to use tab. Prism Network changes its relationship with the PCs from neutral to friendly. Oh, look at that. There you go. Look at how many friendly. Everybody loves the PCs, except for the UPC, and right now Acre, and I guess that's it, pretty much. Which lucky them. We can all band together to finish the job that Crux started and get rid of those damn synths. All right. So, Prism, let me give you your. Let me actually finish your turn. Yeah, seriously, Deathless just locked in at neutral forever. I saw that and I appreciate that. That's pretty good. All right, Prism Network, you get your party machine on Echo. There it is. Okay. And then, oh, thanks, outro. And then there is a statement to be made. And I actually really like this statement. It came in at the last second, and I was just about to be like, that's a lot of, that's okay, but it's pretty funny, so I'll read it. So let me read to you. Let me read to you of the Prism Network's. Alexa heard me say that. Let me read to you of the Prism Network's announcement. Fallout from the STO conspiracy continued this week as 42 TV personalities were arrested and charged with slander against the noble house of Crux. I don't know if you can hear her, but she's reading me the Prism's listening to me. They can hear me, chat. All right, let me start again. Fallout from the STO conspiracy continued this week as 42 TV personalities were arrested and charged with slander against the noble house of Crux. The Iconian governor's office ended its sanctuary system policy last Friday, reinstating local enforcement of the synthetic sedition order and citing legal malpractice on the part of Her Grace Anwalt. The first shuttles of captured Cygnus exiled arrived on Lyra this Tuesday, while a Section 2 task force began retirement operations on Echo with assistance from Prism Special Intelligence. Up next, what happens when the inmates of Gleipnir Incorporated face off in a cooking competition? Stay tuned for Too Many Crooks. It's so good. It's so Prism, too, because it's like a bunch of serious shit happened. Massive political changes occurring all across the galaxy. Also, check out this really funny exploitative comedy. Too Many Crooks. Prism. Actually, everybody's on point this turn. This is a real good turn. Thank you. Thank you for giving me all of these funny things to say and do. So that completes the turn order. But we have some further business to attend to. I'm really glad that it was a quick turn. Yeah, right. Everybody take inspiration. I'm glad that it was a quick turn because there is a bunch of shit to sort out now. And this is what I was talking about before about the fallout of the OG turn. Now, I have been given all kinds of stuff to say and to show off, and I'm being a little bit like more permissive than usual. So I have a video I'm going to show you, and I'm going to do some other stuff. But I will say this: one of the factions gave me some music to play during their announcement, but their announcement is so short that there's almost no point. So what I'll do is I'll save that music, and I will play it for you at the end. Did I forget to? Does Prism? Oh, I couldn't tell if Prism set a goal. Let me double check. Oh yeah, they did. Peaceable Kingdom. Peaceable Kingdom. Also, from a lore perspective, can I just say, I really like the idea of Prism being like, yeah, let's focus on the real enemy, the synths, and then busting out because Prism is their scariest when they're the way that they were when they were formed, right? When they're like the secret police watching you sleep. That is the Prism I am the most scared of, and I really like it. So, okay. So I'll play that music for you as we'll use it as our kind of end credits music for the faction that gave me something to play. But let's start with new new factions. So the next time you turn in, there'll be less the Valen Ascendancy, but we have some new factions that are getting created. So the first of those new factions is House Lyra. So House Lyra is going to go it on their own. House Lyra is going to become a faction on their very own. I looked over their presentation, their suggestion for their stats and stuff, and I'm into it. I haven't decided on your faction tag yet. I want to talk to you a little longer, House Lyra, but we'll get that worked out. I have to fix. I wonder if I can just view. Can I view the formulas? Oh, perfect. The formulas continue down eternally. Okay, so the sheet will work fine. Good. The sheet will work fine. I should never have said that. Okay, so House Lyra is going to enter the game with 4 cunning, 2 force, and 2 wealth. Completely makes sense. One of the HP fields is missing, was it? Let me see. Show formulas. Oh, yeah, right there. What is this? Equals. Can I just pull down? Yeah, I can. Fuck yeah. All right, math. Okay, so House Lyra, they are becoming their own. They're becoming their own faction. So that's cool. They are not taking any assets from the house's minor. We'll work out your tag together. You'll get to pick a goal at the beginning of your turn. And then I think, do you get like a, let me look at my rulings and clarifications. Do you have a banked XP? Or do we just do equivalent with minor? No, okay. Equal to your faction XP, you get planetary government tag and a base of influence. So let's go give you, yeah, there was no, we cut that out. Okay, perfect. So it works great. Okay, so yeah. So get with me, Lyra, send me your representative. Let me know who, what, we'll talk about the tags. The reason that I wanted to wait is not because I don't think either of the tags you suggested are valid. I think that they're both equally valid, and I would like to know which one you like better, and we'll talk about. I have a case to make for both, and we'll talk about it. So we'll collaborate on that. I'm going to set you as neutral with the PCs for now, because you can't have a relationship just with Lyra, Lynn, Nicola. Your homeworld is Orpheus, of course. All right, so you are created. Nicely done. Let's give you some assets. So they get a free asset. Look at this, House Lyra. Look, you're on the board, Lyra. They begin the game with a party machine, of course. They're all just like sitting around in their goth manner, waving their little black flags with skulls on them and wearing their beautiful purple gowns and celebrating their independence. Oh, that's so good. All right, and you get a base of influence. And your base of influence is your faction hit points. Right? Faction hit points is 14? 14. Okay, there you go. And these are both on Orpheus. I will not align that neutral. I refuse. No, I'm just kidding. It'll drive me nuts too. Awesome. That's really cool. So there is, there is an opportunity for them to take an asset, which is, let's see, yada yada. Houses minor. We'll deal with the houses minor altogether. Here we go. The faction may target one of the houses minor's assets on their homeworld. And I'll go through the process. Don't worry. Just to look. So let's look at Orpheus. So on Orpheus, there are currently no valid assets. So there you go. That's it. Cool. Okay. So congratulations. Congratulations on your independence, House Lyra. I have a statement from House Lyra. Unyielding empire, not long ago you were a great 11 and now approach a battered and beaten 9. The after called. It is not yet our time. The void shall not forget the sinners across this sector. It is time for Storm, Shadow, and Spirit to step forth and claim what is rightfully ours. We shall save this sector. Oh, and that's cute. They want to change their relationship because of Nicola. Aw, Nicola likes them, and so does House Lyra. That's adorable. Let's see how long that lasts. All right, there you go. The Lyran party machine. Good work. Nicely done, Lyra. I wish you a long and prosperous life or unlife, whichever you prefer. Okay, so next up we have, and I just randomly ordered these as promised. So next up, House Triangulum is going to be adopted by the 14 Red Dogs Triad, who are becoming House Triangulum. So I'm going to just go ahead and change the 14 Red Dogs Triad into House Triangulum. So that's pretty cool. House Triangulum, and we will pull down. That's right, 3.14 Red Dogs. House Triangulum. So what was interesting here was that there's this clever move to separate the 14 Red Dogs from their like anti-imperial fact. This is the thing I was talking about at the beginning. So what I thought was a really clever lore move, the Red Dogs and House Triangulum got together and they talked and they were like, well, how can we adopt you without it like staining us too badly? And we know that the Red Dogs are like an anti-imperial faction. So what they did was in the lore, they said, the people that are anti-imperial, they're not us. Those are not Red Dogs. That is this other thing. That is the Loyalty Brigade, and they hate the Empire, and we don't like them either. And then they created a problem, right? Where the stability of their planet was in danger, and like they were being attacked and murdered by the Loyalty Brigade, and these like Imperial friendlies got rescued by Triangulum and like joined up with it's brilliant. It's very cool. And it's been a really fun lore thing to watch happen. They've got an announcement as well that I'll read to you. Yeah, so when they adopt, basically they're being adopted by the Red Dogs and then rebranding as House Triangulum. And so they have some experience they can spend. House Triangulum would like to be neutral with the faction or with the players. They currently retain I'm going to let them retain the secretive tag. We're going to talk a little bit about what that means. But what I think is really interesting about this is that there's this like, I wouldn't trust this faction personally if I were like, I don't know, it's dangerous. Like House Triangulum has just become kind of edgy and scary a little bit, right? Because they're like, yeah, they've done some bad things in the past, and they've kind of hidden them, and now they have these. The other thing to remember what Honglu was originally used for, right? You remember that Honglu used to be a House Cygnus labor planet, right? There were like synth factories on this planet. It's pretty cool. It's like the weird, scary scientist guys who know a bunch of secrets have joined up with the labor force of House Cygnus. Like, yeah, it's cool. This is a good storyline. I'm personally pretty excited about watching this one. And I believe if I can grab the link, I have one last thing. But I'll give them their experience first. So House Cygnus, they gain 15 experience for being adopted. And they wanted to spend that to increase their cunning, I think. Yeah, House Triangulum. That's what I said all along. They have 18. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. Okay. All right. So they want to raise, we haven't spent XP on stream before, so let me do that. While I'm doing this, if the Red Dogs rep is around and you want to fire me that video again, I saved the link and then it disappeared on me. But let me do this, and if you want to send it my way, I'll find it again if I have to myself. But let's see. Okay, experience points differ. They want to raise their rating from 6 to 7. Oh, it's beginning of the turn to spend it. Okay. Well, we'll just do it now. This is the end of this turn, beginning of next turn. It's fine. So, Triangulum is going to bring their cunning up to 7. And that costs them 16, bringing them down to 2. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So they should be 3 force. How's Triangulum? 3, 7, 5. Yep. They've got their tag. I have a Triangulum related statement here, but let me find the Red Dogs version of this. Let me find their little video. Thank you, Dark Flagger. Perfect. That's what I was looking for. All right, let me get it set up for you. We'll watch the video together. Get the volume going here. Okay, friends. Here we go.
トライアドは死んでいます。トライアドを長生きします。兄弟姉妹山は消え、もはや世界に影を落としていません。しかし、地平線を見てください。地震から上がっている3つのピークを見てください。それは神の光によって投げかけられているからです。彼らはいつも私たちの家だったので、私の子供たちの山に従ってください。もう一度暗闇の中に戻ってきます。不幸と過剰の私たちのマントルと、私たちの獲物は忘却の門に入るように誘惑します。あえて私たちのメシアに立ち向かう人々を狩り、引き裂くこと。かつて私たちのヒルを握っていた暴君へと私たちの道を切り開いた。今日私たちは私たちの新しいファミリーを祝います。私たち人類の監視陣は衰退します。それらは人類の成長の監視者です。一緒に均衡の監視人たち。パックはラブレスを吠えます。新しいごちそうが来るために。帝国の影は私たちの家です。罪人たちは私たちの獲物であり、彼らの天国は私たちのドメインです。トライアドは死んでいます。トライアドを長生きします。
I got chills. I got chills multiple fucking times. Like I got pins and needles now. Damn. Oh, that was so cool. Damn. That was really, really cool. Thank you. I'm going to make sure the players see that too, because man, that shit's great. Ooh. So there you go. Welcome, House Triangulum to the forefront. And I love this. There's so much good shit going on this turn. So House Triangulum, once, twice, and thrice did the innocent of Honglu cry out, beset by perfidious traitors. Those innocents shall forevermore be the subjects and wards of House Triangulum. To our subjects who seek asylum from indiscriminate violence at the hands of the ungodly, seek refuge with the 14 Red Dogs charity. You and they shall be welcomed on our ark, Habitat 1. Any who dare hinder our subjects' passage shall know House Triangulum's justice. Triad, Triangulum, it's perfect. It's great. So I have to figure out too, House Triangulum, your home world and your base. Let me look. So for adoption, you gain XP. We'll do with the House Minor. You lose the new faction's homeworld as one of your own. Right. So, and then get a base of influence thereon if such a base exists. Okay, great. Yeah. So they have to kind of leave. They have to leave Lovelace as their homeworld, but they can like set up a base there next turn if they want, which is why I imagine these units were placed there. Cool. All right. Excellent. Good. Thank you, Triangulum and the Red Dogs, for giving me the fucking shivers. Can you imagine if somebody found that video without having any context? They would just be like, what the hell kind of fucked up shit is this? Holy Christ. It's terrifying. So yeah, cool. I'm just gonna make sure there's nothing else to do with these guys. Bank this change. The faction wants to dissolve into their own. They retain one of their 2 original homeworlds of their choice. That's right. Okay, so you gotta tell me. New House Triangulum. You have homework. What homeworld do you want? I assume it's going to be Lovelace. And that because all the lore is you abandoned. Yeah, it is Lovelace. Okay, because in the lore you abandoned Honglu, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So homeworld is Lovelace. Perfect. Good. Noted. That was easy. If you yeah, I mean you have time to think about it before the next thing, but I think that's the plan. Plus, also Lovelace is cool, so you're gonna want to hang on to that one. Yeah. Do you want the TL5 planet or nah? Okay. Good. All right. So we have I think 2 more, and then the Houses Minor, and then I have a special announcement from one of the other houses. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So the next up on the board, we have another new faction. Welcome to the faction turn. House Pyxis. Come on down, House Pyxis. It's time. So I remember having a conversation with House Pyxis where they were like, we want to be our own faction. And I was like, you're too small. No, you can't. You'll just get your ass whooped, right? All the other factions will pick on you, and then you'll be sad and you'll come crying to me. No, you're too small. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. Fuck what I think. That's dumb. Let's just let them be the thing. So now they can, yes. House Pyxis and their arguments were a big part of what is allowing Lyra to become a house too. Like they had some long conversations with me back and forth about how to do this that swayed me over to their side. So I agree with the assessment that they gave me for their stats. So they're going to be a faction with their homeworld is going to be Lodestone. Their relationship to the PCs is currently neutral. They are going to have Force 2, Cunning 2. Oh my god, Pyxis. You're the lowest cunning of everyone in the sector. It's so cute. Cunning 2. Fornax. Look, Fornax. And Wealth 4. All right. Cool. Good. And that gives them 14 experience, or 14 hit points. They have a balance of 0. They have suggested that they are fanatical, which I agree. It's not necessarily the word that I would use to describe them in fiction, but I think fanatical fits as a tag. Which means, just as I think, so they don't know when to quit. They re-roll dice that come up as 1. This leaves them open because they always lose ties during attacks. Okay, all right. So fanatics, little space fanatics. We'll let them decide their goal next time, and then their experience starts at 0. Their homeworld is and I got to change the Triangulum homeworld here to Lodestone, and the homeworld of House Pyxis is home, right? It's Lodestone, and this is Lovelace. There we go. Lodestone. It's my fault for naming them things that are similar. There it is. No, you all live on the same planet now. Too bad. Okay. And then they are going to seize an asset. Let's see what's on Lodestone here. So on load, where are you, Lodestone? There it is. Okay. So Houses Minor have a pre-tech manufactory. So they're going to seize. They're going to try to take that. And I got to check and see if the Houses Minor is going to resist. Do not contest. Okay. So it's a no contest. So let's just go ahead and do the thing. So House Pyxis has 3. Pyxis. Can't you see? Sometimes your spaceships hypnotize me. So they get a base of influence worth their 14. And that's on Lodestone. Okay. They get a pre-tech manufactory. And I guess I can just assign this one because it already exists. So let's do that. Houses Minor, this becomes a House Pyxis manufactory. Okay, and then lastly, they're gonna buy themselves a post-tech industry. And I guess I didn't need that one. Okay. Good. Just clear that row. No, delete. There it is. Okay. All right. So our new friends in Pyxis, and I understand that Pyxis attempted to send me something in real life, but that it did not arrive in time for this to be presented. But man, what does this say that House Pyxis gains their true independence on the day of their parents' death? Right? Like this is a story, right? Like the House Pyxis in the flames of the library of Vela has their own. They finally they step out into the world and they're like, all right, we're for real. You're not an adult till you're an orphan, right? Like it's the funeral of House Vela, but also, yeah, whoa, it's. I imagine that there are members of Vela, who the Velan ascendancy who now return and petition to join House Pyxis, right? Former nobles that marry into Pyxis. This idea of the child fostering the parent, right? Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty damn neat. Yeah. So I have a notification. I have a notice to read. In lieu of whatever strange delivery that Pyxis was going to send me, I will read the following for you. 408. That's how many years it took the Empire to see the truth. 408 years since House Vela declared the sector complete and began down the long, winding road to stagnation, corruption, and ruin. For 328 years, the Empire believed this lie, unfaltering, placing trust in Vela's claims that they did not deserve. Then 80 years ago, one woman found something they couldn't ignore, and from this discovery, House Pyxis was born. Now, with the house of our birth in ruins, the truth can finally escape its oppression. For 408 years, we have fought unheard, and we've grown. And finally, it shall be known without question that there is more out there. Vela stopped their exploration at good enough, afraid of the risks and hardships it would take to reclaim what is still lost. We have no fear. Good enough isn't good enough anymore, and we must make up for lost time. It is the beginning of a new era of navigation, an era of freedom and of hope undying, an era of Pyxis. Damn. It's good. Ever searching, right? It's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah, we're seeing a pretty serious change in the universe, right? Like I think that these faction shifts and merges, the rise of these sort of independent minor houses, it's a whole thing. We're seeing Pyxis they're not lying. Like this turn represents a pretty big shift in some of the truths about the universe. So yeah, pretty neat. Pretty damn neat. Thank you, House Pyxis. Welcome to the faction turn. All right, so before we get to the houses minor, I gotta say, and I feel like this is for me at least, from my perspective, this next bit was the push that moved us all forward. This was the thing that made me believe that the merging and splitting rules were the right thing to do, and that as usual, I came up with a rule thinking that this would be how it goes. But then immediately, almost right away, I was told, hey, yo, guess what? Nope. We have a plan. We have a plan to do something big with your rules that you just made up. Let's do the thing. And so two factions got together and they came up with a really cool plan in the lore to end the war, right? There is this idea of the constant battles between the STO and the Empire, the grinding of the great Acre war machine against the High Church, and this little house of tax collectors scooped out and were like, now we're just gonna buy out our major enemy. We're just gonna buy out Acre. Well, welcome back. We're forming the Imperial Bank, and that's that. And yeah, I imagine, yeah, for peace, right? But this is the thing. There's a lot going on, and I just thought it was so interesting to say, cool. Well, there are other ways than guns and subterfuge. We're gonna just buy this faction, and all of the lore that spread out from that. the lore that came from Prism, right? The way that echoed out through them. Basically, like all the changes that we're seeing have affected everybody in a big, cool way. And so I was really excited to watch. I watched the merger of these two factions very closely. So to add on to complete our last little piece here, Acre is like the Red Dogs. Acre is adopting House Eridanus, who are becoming their own massive faction. Don't have a lot of people on your own? Cool. Just merge with the biggest faction there is when you get your independence. So House Eridanus is a new faction. And Acre adopts House Eridanus. House Eridanus is the naming factor, and Acre, its identity is absorbed into this new Imperial Bank. And as a result, all these Acre assets become House Eridanus assets. There we go. And I can clear these. Let me do that. Thank you for reminding me, Eridanus. Just clear these out because these are all usable now, or they will be for the next turn. All our faction trades. There we go. Okay, excellent. So there we go. So House Eridanus joins the faction turn with a bunch of stuff. And let me take a look at what they want to do here. So their homeworld will be Demnoth. So they move to Demnoth. So let's leave that as is. Right, Eridanus, Demnoth, perfect. Okay. And then yeah, and actually this is worth mentioning. So this is a point of sort of player behavior. I talked about it a little bit on the Discord, but in case folks didn't see it, with new factions forming and whatever, like out of or in character, if you're making propaganda and you want to like take shots at another faction, you can use satirical names or whatever. That's fine, like in character as part of a propaganda thing, but referring to a faction out of character by like a sarcastic name or like actively trying to be disrespectful by calling them something they don't want to be called. This has come up a couple of times with a couple of different factions. Don't do it. It's mean. You wouldn't call somebody by a name that they don't like. This is House Eridanus. There is no Acredanus. That's not a thing. The name of the high church is the High Church of Messiah as Emperor. Now there are some acceptable shortenings. Some of the factions have like acceptable names, right? Like the Deathless are also the Deathless Conflict Solutions, right? But yeah, don't if somebody says to you like, hey, that's not the name of our faction, right? Yeah, they're the Upright Vagrant, right? Confederation of the Upright Vagrant. So yes, the name of this faction is House Eridanus. I believe, and this is just me saying this, I believe that they are okay being referred to as the Imperial Bank, but you'd have to check with them. Cool. So anyway, they're gonna spend. They get some XP. So House. It's gonna take me a minute to find everybody again. So they have 7 now. They gain 15. So 20, 21, 15, 22. And then they're gonna spend 12 to bring their cunning up to 6. There we go. Okay, good. That's House Eridanus. And Eridanus, I have your track, which I will play at the end of the session. And yeah, they have 10 XP left. Rather, they spend 12. There it is. Okay, let me just get that and make sure that it's queued up. Perfect. Okay, great. Cool. So the statement that House Eridanus would like to make is Eridanus, now, forever. Pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. All right. This is probably the most like lore heavy turn so far. I think it's had the biggest impact for sure. They're gonna stay on Demnoth. Yeah, House Eridanos homeworld. They get to keep the Demnoth homeworld. Okay, all right. So, lastly, all of these effects take place on the Houses Minor. So the Houses Minor do not contest House Pyxis. So I'll read what the ruling says that happens. So the Houses Minor, they reduce their stat line by the equivalent of 18 XP for each house that leaves. Any excess XP is banked as change. And then I will work with the faction, the Houses Minor, work with them all to figure out any differences that happen with them. They lose the new faction's homeworld as one of their own, but they may choose to keep a base of influence there if they wish. Otherwise, they can demolish it at no damage to their HP. They are no longer planetary government of that planet. Yeah. So they're going to lose a bunch of XP. They'll have some change they're going to spend to help bring them back up, and it's not quite as damaging as you might think. In the end, we'll take a look at it. So they're not going to contest Pyxis taking the pre-tech manufactory. They are sacrificing their bases of influence on Lodestone, Tiber, and Lovelace. Okay. So let's go to the Houses Minor. Here we go. So base of influence on Lovelace destroyed. They close it down. Let's see. Delete row. Here we go. Lovelace. Tiber. Okay. And then where's the other one? Lodestone, right. All right. And then after XP loss, they've reduced their stat line to 4 force, 4 cunning, and 4 wealth. It's so heavy. And then they're gonna so that leaves them with some XP, right? So they did the math for me. I checked it. So the first house leaves, they lose 18 XP. Their force comes down to 5, which gives them a bank of 10 XP after that. So they have 12. Then the second house leaves. They bring their wealth down to 5, which leaves them another 10 XP. The third house leaves, bringing their cunning down to 5, leaving them 10 XP left over, which gives them 32 total. And then, oh yeah, sorry, House Eridanos just pinged me. They're neutral. And then the fourth house leaves, brings their force down to 4 and cunning down to 4 with no extra XP. Then they're going to spend that 32 XP. They're going to spend 12 to bring their wealth up to 6, right? And then they spend another 16 to bring their wealth to 7, which leaves them with 4 experience points. So there you go. That's the Houses Minor. They would like you to know the Houses Minor wish the houses leaving the council luck and is particularly joyous to see the lawful takeover of Acre by House Eridanos. We hope the river flows black forever. So the Houses Minor is made up now of Reticulum, Aquila, and Serpens. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Your Blood the Enemy goal is changed. I think you just complete it, right? Because Blood the Enemy is equal to your total of your stuff divided by 2, I think. Yeah. Force cunning, and it's half, yeah. So it's 4, 8, 15. Yeah, you've well done it. So you get 2, which brings you up to 6. Okay, there you go. Yeah, 19 of 17. I'd say you did it. Cool. All right. So that's it. The Houses Minor take on a much reduced form. And I think what we had talked about, and the rulings doc will see me out, but I think if I remember correctly, if another house leaves, it forces like if Aquila leaves, Serpens and reticulum will auto branch, so they'll pop off on their own, or they can be adopted in the same way as the others. But basically it would signal the end. The houses have to be a council of 3 at least, or it breaks down. But I have more detailed rules, and if those 3 houses have questions about how that might look or what we could do with that, let me know. But I think it's a fascinating time for the Empire. Absolutely fascinating watching all of these changes. Tragedy and mercy, war and violence. We got all kinds of good shit going on. And speaking at last of the houses minor, House Serpens would like me to announce, maybe for the first time in the history of the Empire, we have always been by your side. You trust the insight of our scryers, the counsel of our seers. You trust our practitioners with your very lives. Now, we ask one more measure of trust. Trust us to lead. House Serpens for Emperor. Ooh, it's good. Huh. There's going to be so much fun shit going on. So, I think at this point, like, there are a lot of candidates for Emperor. Now, House Serpents has some other stuff they wanted me to show off, but it's all like individual like sheets and lore. But I'll post some of that in the announcements channel on the Discord. But yeah, like there's absolutely a race for Emperor, King Snake. Yeah. Now the election takes place in universe on a specific date, right? Like it has to take place at the end of the year 3200. But what I might do is just have it take place after faction turn 12, like between 12 and 13, and then just have the game catch up. Because I feel like we're playing our own game here and trying to tie the Emperor. Like we never get the vote. So now let's call it that for now. I'll put in an official ruling, but for right now in this stream, in this moment, I'm gonna think about it a little bit. But I think probably that'll be the plan. Is like whatever Imperial shit you got going on at the end of the 12th turn. I think we'll do the election, and I'll announce the results at the top of the turn. And yeah, we can talk about the Serpent's assassin in the meantime. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But I think that might be what we're doing. And right now, the rules for the Emperor is just if you are a house, you get a vote. And whoever gets the most votes wins. But I got to figure out if it's going to be a majority of votes. Like if you need to have half the people voting for you or not. The thing is, I just don't want to hand the win to the church because I know you people. And I know that what'll happen is everybody will have one vote. And that'll be it. So I gotta work it out. Whether it's just like, listen, that's the reason, right? Is I just don't want to necessarily like hand it over to the church because of the system I chose. I can be bought, but the rules are the same. Every noble house gets, they get a vote. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll force a papal council. Maybe I'll be like, I'm putting you in chat in voice chat for an hour and you got to come out with an Emperor, right? I might do that. So I got to pick. Let's put some deadlines on it. Okay, let's do some homework. I'm gonna get out my GM notebook. By this time next month, by the next faction turn. Oh, also Triangulum. I got your orders about revealing the Gleipnir stuff. So now that you're together, we waited an extra month because I didn't want to like get in the middle of your lore. So I've got your Gleipnir stuff. Which I'll communicate to you probably like after the weekend, and you can decide what to do with it. And then yeah, so decide Imperial vote by the next session. So I'll let you know. And yeah, if Aquila or Serpens or Reticulum becomes the Emperor, they'll become they'll become a major house. They'll get some assets and some shit. And then the House's Minor Council will dissolve if that's how it goes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great. I think that's it, friends. I think we're fucking done. I think we did it. So yeah, so that's turn 9. I'm really glad that the turn itself was a little bit like quieter, and that we did all the spicy stuff at the end because obviously, as you saw, we had some very cool shit to show off. So I'm gonna take, I won't even take the stream down, I don't think. I'm gonna do some Court of Swords prep. I have a city to do. I have to build a necropolis. So I'm gonna do that. But I'm gonna take a little break in between here and there. So I'll play some music and we'll let you hang out and do that thing. We'll start with the faction merge track. And then I'll just switch up my overlays and we'll do some Court of Swords stuff. So stick around if you want that. Otherwise we'll see you next time or in the Verona Discord. Thanks as always to everybody for being so badass. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.